What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another monthly ranking video. And holy crap, guys, it's already April. Crazy, dude. Like, that's just insane to think about. But anyways, we are here to talk about all 15 movies I saw in March. And yes, I have seen 15 movies. Like always, not every single one of them came out in March, but some of them that were not released in March, they were my first chances that I had to watch them. So there we go. That's why they're on this list and I'm able to talk about them for this March ranking. But if you guys are new to this channel and you love physical media content, movie reviews, watch-alongs, hangout streams, all that good stuff, hit that subscribe button down below, that notification bell right next to it so you never miss a post. Hit that thumbs up and share this video. You guys know what to do. Anyways, guys, let's get to the ranking. So starting at last place at number 15 is the only movie that I watched in March that I would consider a bad movie, and that is The Mortuary Assistant. Have any of y'all even heard of this movie? This is apparently based on a video game that I had no idea even existed. Like, I didn't even know that this was based on a video game until people started to talk about this film, and this actually makes me want to watch gameplay because I'm sure, like, gameplay of this, or even just playing the game, is much better than anything in this movie, because this movie was a slog to get through. Like, it's boring, it's confusing, it's not scary, and this movie just moves at a snail's pace. Like, it's only 90 minutes, and it feels even longer than that. Like, it feels like it's about 3 hours. So, yeah, could not get into this one. Thought it was an absolute chore to sit through. If you're just scrolling through Shudder and you're looking for something to watch, pass on this. Now we have a pretty big jump from number 15 to number 14, and number 14 is Body Cam. This has an interesting idea where it's told through police camera cars and also police body cam. Interesting idea, and there's also cool ideas at play here, but the movie itself didn't really figure out like how it wanted to execute those ideas. It just felt very surface level, and also kind of a throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. So unfortunately, it kind of just came off very meh, unfortunately. Like, it could have been really cool, but just didn't really come through in the end. Coming in at number 13 is Pretty Lethal. This is a new Amazon Prime action movie where you have a bunch of ballet girls that are going on this tour. Their bus breaks down, and they're basically fighting for survival against a bunch of gangsters. And it sounds great on paper. The action is fun for the most part. Like, it's mostly well filmed and also has a lot of good carnage. There's a lot of good gore. And it's fun for the most part. Like, and I think the girls, like our lead girls, give good performances. But whenever it cuts to Uma Thurman's side of the story as our main villain here, I did not care for that at all. And I thought the film just got insanely boring by that point. This one was just okay. Like, it's watchable. Like, it's 90 minutes. It flies by, but it could have been so much more. All right, so from 13 to 12, another pretty big jump right here. So coming in at number 12 is The Testament of Ann Lee. Now, I know this film technically got a limited release on Christmas last year, but I did some research and this film actually got a wide release on January 23rd of this year. This was my first chance to be able to watch this film, so I'm talking about it now. This film, I honestly think, should have gotten some Oscar recognition when it comes to the production, the costumes, and also for Amanda Seyfried, who possibly may have turned in her best performance of her whole career as Ann Lee. Like, she is fantastic. You do learn a lot about Ann Lee as a person, which, when it comes to biopics, that's usually what you want to walk away from. He does a pretty good job with that. The music is pretty good. Like, it's a good one watch, just not a movie that's really particularly on my wavelength and not really a movie I can see myself ever really watching again. Coming in at number 11 is honestly a pretty pleasant surprise for this year, and that is War Machine. This is a new Netflix movie starring Alan Ritchson, directed by Patrick Hughes, who did the Hitman's Bodyguard movies. The best way I can describe this movie is that it's basically Alan Ritchson's version of Predator. Like, with the way that this film is structured, it kind of feels like it's structured a lot like Predator. But it is still fun, though. Like, there's some good action here. Alan Ritchson's great. Like, there's some good effects to it as well. Some iffy ones, but there is still some good effects here and there. The film overall is a fun watch. Not going to be a movie that you'll remember by the time the year ends, but it's a fun movie. Like, one that I could see myself possibly watching again sometime down the line, but like not one that I'm in a rush to rewatch. Coming in at number 10 is We Bury the Dead. This is a new zombie film starring Daisy Ridley, and it has a good idea thrown in there. Like, it's an interesting idea for a zombie drama, and plus we don't really get a bunch of like zombie drama films usually. We would get like, you know, zombie action movies, stuff like that, but never really much of like zombie dramas for the most part. Like, but what they did here was actually pretty solid. Daisy Ridley's great. There is cool ideas at play, but kind of like Body Cam, it doesn't really like flesh out all of its ideas to the best extent, and also they just don't really come to fruition like overall with the film. And it is moving quite a bit at a snail's pace at only 95 minutes. Not quite as slow as something like Mortuary Assistant, but it is still a pretty slow movie, but one that I enjoyed watching, and honestly one that I could see myself watching again, maybe around Halloween time, so I'd recommend it. Coming in at number 9 is another pretty pleasant surprise for me, and that is Reminders of Him. This is the third Colleen Hoover adaptation after It Ends With Us and Regretting You. This one was a solid watch. I enjoyed myself watching this movie. Like, I didn't hate myself watching it, like, but it was just an enjoyable little romantic dramedy with two really good leads that are very good with each other. It was nice to see Micah Monroe kind of step out of her comfort zone because we know her as the horror final girl, and it was nice to see her get to do a romance movie. And Tyreek Withers, also really good in this movie. It tells an interesting story, but it's very much predictable with where it goes. Like, you can pretty much predict every single direction the film could possibly go, and it pretty much goes the routes that you expect it to go. But it's still a good enough watch. There is some good laughs in there. There's some good emotional parts to it, but just not a movie that's like, for me personally, like not one that I would like rewatch a ton, but I would watch this again if I had like a really bad day and I had nothing else I wanted to watch. 8 through 6, I really enjoyed all these ones. So coming in at number 8 is Mike and Nick and Alice. This is a new time travel action comedy starring Vince Vaughn, 2 Vince Vaughns at that, also James Marsden and Isaac Gonzalez. Very clever premise, like where you basically have one Vince Vaughn who is an assassin from like present time, and then you have another Vince Vaughn who is Nick from 6 months in the future, and basically tells that James Marsden that some very bad things are going to happen to him. So he comes to present day to basically fix it all up. And it is a lot of fun. It's funny. I think the chemistry between James Marsden and Vince Vaughn is very good. There's some really good action sequences in here, also some good gore. And I will say the film kind of falls apart a little bit with its third act with the motivations. But a good cast, some good laughs, some good action, some good gore, and some good chemistry with our leads propelled this one over the top for me, so I would highly recommend checking this one out on Hulu. Coming in at number 7 is a very, very divisive one, and I know some people might come at me in the comments for this, but this is my list. Number 7 is The Bride. I really, really liked this movie. It's basically a Bonnie and Clyde version of The Bride of Frankenstein, kind of mixed with a little bit of style of like Natural Born Killers and a little bit of true romance with that. I think Christian Bale and Jessie Buckley both provide really good chemistry with each other. Like the 1930s aesthetic to the film is very good, like really captures that time period very well. There's a really good score to it. There's amazing cinematography. And I do think that when it cuts to the subplot between Penelope Cruz and Peter Sarsgaard, who are these detectives that are trying to hunt down our two main characters, I think the film kind of loses some steam a little bit. Some iffy pacing, and also the ending is not very good. And they kind of wasted Jake Gyllenhaal. Like, he's only in this movie for like 10 minutes or so. I honestly wish he was in it more. But other than those issues, I really liked this one. I could see myself rewatching this one. And I'm sure my parents would honestly like this movie. Like, my mom has wanted to see this one, so I think my mom might enjoy this one. So I like this one quite a bit. Coming in at number 6 is Ready or Not 2, Here I Come. I absolutely love the first Ready or Not. Like, that one was such a massive surprise. So I wasn't exactly sure how they were going to do a sequel to Ready or Not. Like, there wasn't really much that you could have possibly done with a sequel, but the trailer came out and I was like, okay, I'm sold. And this movie is a lot of fun. Now, that's not to say it's perfect, because I think this film honestly kind of falls apart in the third act with how convoluted it gets and how much bigger they decide to go. Like, of course it's a sequel. Like, they, of course, are going to go bigger, but it's one of those cases where bigger doesn't always mean better, and I don't know. But Catherine Newton and Samara Weaving, they provide very good chemistry with each other, but you also got people like Sean Hattasy, you also got Elijah Wood, Sarah Michelle Gellar, David Cronenberg for a little bit. Great cast, some good gore, pretty much the gore that you've got in the first Ready or Not, just times up by 11. There's some good chase sequences, some really good action scenes, some good laughs. Pretty much everything that you got from the first film, you're going to get here, but doubled basically. So it's a lot of fun. If it's still playing in your theater, go and check it out if you're a fan of the first one. And now we've reached the top 5, and these are all, in my opinion, the best movies that I watched in March 2026. So coming in at number 5 was honestly another pleasant surprise for me, and that is Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie. People were starting to rave about this movie, and I was like, what even is this? And people were saying it's kind of like basically Back to the Future, and I was like, okay, so I'll give it a chance. And this is by far one of the funniest movies I've seen so far this year. Like, it is hilarious from pretty much beginning to end. There's just a couple moments that just don't quite land for me, but for the most part, I was laughing pretty much throughout the entire runtime. There's a lot of great humor in here. Like, dude, it is crazy that a movie like this exists. Like, there was just some moments during this movie where I was just on the floor laughing. Like, it was just, I could barely contain my laughter sometimes watching this movie. It's nice to see that we get comedies like this now. Like, that we've been getting comedies like this. Like, comedies that aren't afraid to push boundaries and even offend people, because that is what comedy is supposed to do. This movie did quite a bit of that, and I think it's hilarious. Coming in at number 4, speaking of pleasant surprises, we got Hoppers. Now, I didn't know what to expect going into this movie. I was like, okay, it's another Pixar film. It's basically like Avatar, which they reference in the trailer and also pretty early on in the movie. But I really was not sure with the trailers for this one, because it didn't really seem like it was going to be all that great. But then you go into the film, and it is a lot funnier than I was expecting it to be. It's the funniest Pixar film I've seen in quite some time. The animation is stellar, just like pretty much any Pixar film. And I would say this is their best movie since Soul. That might be a bit of a hot take, but I loved this movie. I saw it twice in theaters. The chemistry between Mabel and King George is great. It's really funny. Like I said, it's got some really good moments of dark humor thrown into the mix as well. Some really good emotional beats as well. This movie is just great. I absolutely loved this movie. The only thing holding it back was the main villain of the film, voiced by Dave Franco. It was cool to see Dave Franco in this, and him being this like very over-the-top villain. Just the motivation I just thought was very cliched and generic, to where it's like, I've seen this kind of villain done before, but done much better. But overall, I loved this movie, so definitely go and see this one in a movie theater, like how any Pixar film should be seen. Coming in at number 3 is a movie that I'm actually kind of shocked to see a lot of people really not liking, and that is Undertone. I went to go see this movie in theaters with my mom, and I loved this movie. Like, this is one of my favorite horror movies of the year so far. Like, it's genuinely creepy. It's unsettling. It can actually get kind of scary at points, especially with how the movie concludes. But the thing I liked about this movie is that it's completely reliant on the sound gimmick, where it's like, you're not just, giving traditional jump scares. Like, you're actually hearing things like around you. Like, I actually liked that they did the sound approach rather than just, typical jump scares. And the guy who directed this is directing the next Paranormal Activity. And I said this before, and I'll say it again. He has the potential to make the best one even after watching this movie. So give this one a chance if you like movies like Paranormal Activity or Skinamarink. This movie is definitely going to be up your alley, so keep this one on your radar. All right, now we're on to the top 2. These 2 movies honestly could battle for number 1. But as of right now, this is where I have them. So number 2 is Project Hail Mary. This is honestly by far the best film that Lord and Miller have done together as a directing duo. And it's gone to show, like, if they're one of, if not the best directing duo around. Because I've loved every single one of their films that they've done as directors, from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs to 22 Jump Street. This is their first movie as a directing duo since 22 Jump Street, which is crazy. But Ryan Gosling is fantastic. The visuals, the cinematography, the set design is fantastic. There's no green screen shots apparently, which is mind-blowing. Like, it's absolutely insane for this movie. And the relationship between Ryan Gosling and Rocky is amazing. Like, their friendship is just absolutely incredible, really well built together. And it's a movie that I think everyone should go see in a movie theater. Like, don't wait for this one to come on streaming. Go and see it on the biggest screen possible, because that is how this film is meant to be seen, is in a movie theater. I've seen it twice. I plan to go see it a third time before it leaves my theater. So yeah, if you have not seen this movie yet, please do yourself a favor, go and see it. Which leaves the question, what is my favorite movie of March 2026? Well, this one didn't technically come out in March, but once again, this was my first chance to watch this movie because no theater close by me even played this movie. So I was glad that when it finally dropped on Fandango at home, or just on streaming in general, that I finally got a chance to watch it. Number one is Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. This is the new Gore Verbinski film. And this is, so far, it's only April right now, but so far, this is my favorite movie of the year. And I've already watched this movie 3 times. Yes, you heard me right. I've already watched this movie 3 times. Never do I usually do that within 1 month. Watch a movie 3 times with just in that 1 month. But this movie, I had to make an exception for this movie alone because I love every single minute of this movie. It's hilarious. Like, it's one of those films that, like I was saying with Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie, that it's one of those comedies that just came out and is not afraid to offend people. It has great commentary about AI and our use and addiction to technology. And I really think with how they were able to do that is wonderful. Like, no one like Gore Verbinski can really pull it off like this. Even talking like dark subject matter and somehow making it funny, once again, is crazy. That how they were able to pull this movie off is just absolutely insane. Sam Rockwell, he's Sam Rockwell. He's one of the best actors alive. He's great in this movie. He's hilarious. But also you got like Haley Lou Richardson, you got Michael Pena, Zazie Beetz, Juno Temple, a great cast to boot here. It's got really good effects as well. Like, it's pretty much funny the whole way through. It's action-packed. It's got also really good emotional beats. And you also get some good, like, backstories for some of our characters, like, particularly with Zazie Beetz and Michael Pena, Juno Temple, and Haley Lou Richardson. And they do a great job at fleshing out those characters. Like I said, so far, this is my favorite movie of the year. It could change over time, but I loved every single minute of this movie, so please put this one on your radar and watch it. That is it, guys. That is all 15 movies that I watched in March 2026, ranked from worst to best. What is your guys' ranking for March? Let me know that down in the comments below. And what movies are you looking forward to in April? And by the time I've recorded this video, I have already seen the Super Mario Galaxy movie, which was my most anticipated film of the year. I loved it, and I'm going to be talking about it a little bit more on my Movie Fanatics live show on Tuesday, so look forward to that. But as far as other films coming out that I'm looking forward to, I'm definitely looking forward to Lee Cronin's The Mummy, Michael. That's pretty much it, honestly. Oh, Normal, the new Bob Odenkirk action movie, Over Your Dead Body with Jason Segel and Samara Weaving. Definitely looking forward to those movies, for sure. So once again, hit that subscribe button down below and that notification bell right next to it so you never miss a post. Hit that thumbs up and share this video. You guys know what to do. Anyways, guys, that's it for me today. I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.